Welcome to the Conscious Investor. Let's get started. Let's get started getting older. I am so excited, and this is going to strike some people as really odd, but this morning I found my very first gray hair. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and I've been staring at this as I've been doing my hair. I've noticed like this little sparkle in my hair, and ladies, you might know, like, remember tinsel was a thing and people put tinsel in their hair. Kind of reminded me of tinsel, and I've noticed this. And so finally, this morning I asked my husband, I said, "Hey, I think I found," actually, I asked him if he'd come and help me out for a moment. And he's like, didn't respond, actually. So then I'm like, "Hey, I think I found my first gray hair." And he came running in. And sure enough, it is my first gray hair. Now, again, probably some other gray hairs underneath. And he said, "Hey, you need to stop coloring your hair and you need to let yourself go gray." And I said, "I don't know that I'm quite ready for that step, but I'm really excited about this hair." And it was actually like very silvery, and it's pretty. I don't know if as I go gray that's what's going to happen. But my daughter comes in and she sees this excitement over me. Like, I have my first gray hair. It's almost like a kid having their first and being excited about it. And you might be wondering, like, "Julie, what the heck, you want your gray hair?" And I was really excited. I think what's really prompting this excitement is that as I told my daughter, I said, it's the gift of growing old. Like, this is a gift. I actually have been entrusted with these years where I've been entrusted with so many years that now I have the opportunity to actually have this gray or silver hair. And that's such a gift in a culture that is celebrating youth and trying to create this concept of we need to have, that forever young, and to be forever young, we need to have our 20-something-year-old body all the time. Well, let's just say I don't have my 20-something-year-old body anymore, and I'm quite content with, where I'm at in life. And I don't know that it's healthy for us to be celebrating and trying to perpetually be youthful. Growing old is a gift. It means we have experience behind us, and we have wisdom, and we have opportunity to support the people younger than us or our peers, or even continue to learn from those ahead of us. It's such a unique opportunity. Somebody posted on Facebook, they're really excited about turning 32. And I left a happy birthday comment and just said, "Every decade just gets even better." Right. And it was initially in her post, she was, "Wow, when I turned 30, I thought, the world," kind of dramatic, "Oh, gosh, I'm 30, I'm not in my 20s. And it is, every decade seems to get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And I want to encourage you to really tap into the experiences that you have had. Use those and leverage those experiences to pour into the people around you. Now, it's interesting when I look at the repertoire of my life and the experiences at this point I've collected, I feel like I've lived a lifetime. And I feel oftentimes that I can open this door into this menagerie of, well, what does it look like to publish a book? And what does it look like to, create a website? And what does it look like to start a business? And what does it look like to support a spouse? And what does it look like to raise kids and to respond? Like, there's so many different parts of our lives that we take for granted just because it's our life. And we're like, well, it's just our life. It's the norm. It's whatever. And that's kind of the attitude, right? Whatever. But it's actually super unique and to you, and very powerful, and such a great opportunity. So I want to encourage everyone today to look at the gift of growing older and maturing, and really tapping into using all of those experiences to pour into the people around you and contribute back to the world. I cannot even imagine what the world would look like if we all did this. Sure, I'm not going to stop weaving in the blonde that I grew up with anytime soon. I'm not bold enough at this point yet to allow the gray to, take over completely. However, I am embracing the concept of what that brings into my life. And I hope that this encourages you to not look at growing older as, oh, well, like I actually heard somebody say, I'm going to go with another aside for a moment. And someone actually told me yesterday at the ski resort, this woman said, "Oh, I'm just too old to ski." And she's not much. She's like a peer to me, right? At some point, people are your peers. So if you're within, 5 years of each other, it's a peer. And just like too old to go back and ski anymore, and it just baffled me. And so this concept of aging and being too old is a construct of our mind, and our bodies are going to shift and change, and yes, our physical abilities are going to shift and change, but it's that mindset and that mentality of ever growing. So maybe exchanging forever young to forever growing, forever learning, forever experiencing something new. Actually, speaking of new experiences, my husband and I were able to catch a couple runs yesterday, like the good old days at the ski resort. And it's cool. He's got a really cool new snowboard, and I'm jealous. I'll get mine next year. But there's a actual T-bar that takes you across this ridge line, and he's never been on the T-bar, and I've done this before. So I took him, and I'm like, hey, we've got to check this out. It's so cool. And always inviting. And he didn't even, flinch at the opportunity of grabbing a new experience, right? He just latched onto it. He's like, okay, let's do it. And, finding alliances, if it's not, your spouse or your lifelong partner, but then maybe it's bringing other outside influences into your life that gravitate towards new experiences, so that you are forever growing, forever experiencing, and forever having fun, because that curiosity leads to a certain wonder and a certain amount of fun. That's what I have for you. Go have forever fun, forever learning. It doesn't have to be forever young. It needs to be forever learning. Until next time, live big, love bigger. What's the big deal about investing in apartments? Why is it better than investing in a slew of single-family homes? I've compiled a lot of information on why investing in a multifamily, also known as apartments, will help you reach your investment goals. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download the Why Invest in Multifamily guide today.